playoff teams in Champions of 2021, and we just haven't seen that same level for them.
No, it's been honestly just both of these teams, I think, reaching for the same heights that they did achieve back then, and so far it's been pretty miss.
One of the other interesting slight twist to this map is that XERXIA have gone away from the classic XERXIA cringe comps, if you want to call it that. Moving away from the Yoru. Is that something that KRU will be expecting? This is a very standard composition though, so you got to imagine KRU will be ready for it.
That is a huge amount of information. I'm pretty sure 3 players just got caught by the knife there.
Yeah.
And it's going to give a pretty good indicator that this A site is relatively open. There is, of course, still that Killjoy setup. Sushi Boys is going to be under a lot of pressure right now, but does not face the right way. Zeno just lays down the wall, takes him out easily done. A lot of damage at the end of the day, but this spike should be going down. Not too many problems.
Spike planted.
If Fox had decided to invest a second shock dart, that could have got dangerous. Huge amount of damage onto Klaus as he put the spike down, but this was just a free plant for KRU.
And these post-plant positions, incredibly difficult to try and break, but you can see all the players now. The top of Rafters going to be swinging out, trying to at least see if they can clean up a couple of these players, but the trades are just far too good currently for KRU with the spike down. Very difficult to try and collect these kills. A couple of them are weak, but a jump in right click, that'll do the job. Finish up the round, claim that pistol round under the belt of KRU.
And KRU finding their second pistol round of the tournament so far. It was not a particularly good opening that they had playing against FPX there. But KRU have been good at pistols overall, and so I don't think that trend should be expected to continue. You saw their game plan was good here. They read the XERXIA 4-man stack over towards B, instantly got into A, dealt with it very easily.
Looks like trending over towards the B site now as well.
And going for the FPX bonus buy as well.
Yeah.
So they've got a couple of ghosts out here, a couple of vandals as well. Strange to see Naxit being one of the players with the vandals when he has the headhunter available to him, but that's the way the KRU are approaching things.
See what they can do with these weapons. Now, Surf is holding close to the yellow box. Is he going to be able to play off of it with anybody? That fragment nade is absolutely torn him to pieces. He's already dropped down to half HP. Yeah. Not quite unable to really get a kill there before he was overwhelmed and swarmed. And at this point, good diligence being showcased by KRU, I think, just spamming on unnecessary angles. Enough of a gap as well to get that plant down. Nanoswarm will prevent it for but a moment, but with KRU's the last player left standing, at this point you're just thinking about GG go next round.
KRU are certainly not going to allow him to survive. Naxet moving his way forward. So Nax now only 3 of those points away from getting his tour de force online, which could be pretty important for him. The way the KRU have managed their economy as well is going to let them come into this bonus round with an astounding amount of weaponry.
It's really good.
And KRU are very good in these bonuses. That's a prime game in Flawless in the second round. Both of these teams actually are good at bonuses. And Bren, what that says to me is the pistol rounds mean so much. Because if you're able to get 1 round, it kind of becomes likely that you're going to get 4 in a row.
Sure. Because
of how good both of these teams are at converting. This looks like an enormous clash over towards the B site. Or do they decide to disengage after the 0 point gets broken?
A huge amount of players that might just be about to collide into one another. Tag, a bit of spam as well. Did they suspect the Surf's up there? What a flick! Mazzino. Our brains were linked for a second there. Josh, that's scary.
It's a nice play by Mazzino. He's been one of their most consistent players recently. But XERXIA are not giving up on it. KRU tries to go for the re-clear and gets caught by Kesnin. Trades are coming through very nicely for KRU there.
This is just sublime stuff from KRU. I mean, there's no gap in terms of how they're trading one another out. It's incredibly clean gameplay.
Spike planted.
Sushi Boys is left as the last player standing, a 1v3. Does have the Vandal. Only a half armor. That Flash is going to be pushing him back as well. And time is going to be running low. Sushi Boys might have to take a couple of risks here. Knows where one of the players is at least.
Such a tough clutch.
Yeah, okay. Flash actually doesn't connect because of the Viper wall. Bit of anti-synergy there, but it is so oppressive just trying to get any sort of positioning onto the site. And as it ticks down gradually at this point, feels like Sushi Boys should just be giving this one up. Tries to take the fight anyway.
And in the back of all of his teammates' minds there, they realize that they've let themselves slip to probably a 4-round deficit to start this one. like I said, those pistols are just so important. Crew manipulating their economy perfectly, as we've seen in the past from FBX, and a lot of other teams have started picking up.
Yeah.
In order to push this one forwards. And isn't that such an interesting stat?
That's really cool.
11 international appearances between both teams, but this is the first time they've played. These are two of our teams that are just mainstays at the global level.
Yeah.
And yet they've never clashed.
They've never clashed. The only tournament that XERXIA's ended up missing was 2021 Berlin.
And Crew are the only team to have gone to every single global event.
And again, the trade is really, really great. You
Whoa.
don't want to be taking that fight, not with the shorty in your hands. That's going to be a rough one. Yeah. You can see that the setup at the beginning of this round, a slow orb to punish anybody who tried to grab the orb. Fox was kind of lucky, honestly, to just get the one kill there, but waiting for this Viper Wall to go down. It's a Snakebite to try and delay. There is a Nanoswarm as well. You can see it just in the center of it, so that will delay on top of it, but at this point, it's just not good enough weaponry to...
Yeah, and Sushi Boys is dead as well, so that Nanoswarm left without...
Oh, of course, yeah.
Left without its master. Just a blob on the floor. And Crew looking like they're going to be very clean in this fourth round as well. Probably Surf with a shorty, but he's got nothing to stand up against it.
Yeah.
Crew absolutely dominant at the beginning of this map. And it's a map that they're really good at as well, Brent. They beat Lauda Copenhagen on IceBox, which to me was a bit of an upset at that point. Obviously, they ended up taking the series as well. And they've only, since May, they have only lost IceBox in overtimes to FBX and Guild. I mean, that is a very good IceBox record that Crew are working with. And XERXIA used to be good here, but they've fallen off recently. And the experimentation with Yoru is smacks more of desperation than anything else, I think.
Yeah.
XERXIA are going to be put in a tough spot now.
Surf now with the operator. Good teammates to play with him. And he might be able to collect the one. The wider swing, though. That's Kesnet. He offsets the aim, the crosshair placement that otherwise would have potentially taken him down.
But look at that. They find the operator. They go straight immediately
Opposite
in the other direction.
Yeah.
Surf is such a carry for XERXIA, especially with those first duels. So getting away from him, massively important.
Respect being shown, but rightfully so. They have to wait out this utility, though. XERXIA have a lot of knowledge, I think, that they are going to be hanging around this B main area. So they could set up for something, but with the null command popped off, no abilities to really stop them now.
And that's really good for getting the plant down. Zeno can put down the wall.
Incredibly deep. That's a Hunter's Fury from a pretty far off distance.
Oh, he just missed Mazzino. Both tags of the Hunter's Fury fly past Mazzino and allow him to get the plant down. Yeah. So unfortunate from Fox.
I think that was intentional from Mazzino, though. He planted really deep there, closer towards the default spot, but into the back. That was a Nanoswarm. It's Mazzino falling.
And the defuse.
In between the defuse. Somebody needs to stop this.
Defuse.
Bam down, but they can't do it. There's a wall in the way, and XERXIA just steal away the round.
And there's the retake that comes through exactly as that null command is taken out. All of the utility suddenly comes online, and we've got a Nanoswarm kill, the wall in front of the defuse, and XERXIA looking great there. What an important time to get around on the board. Let's take a look at that replay. Just scary looking up over the top of everything that was happening, picking off player after player. Now Scary's actually got his pit online as well and could invest that over towards B. Interestingly, they've got the pit and the operator in the same place here. And once more, Crew go for the same strat. Run away from the op.
Yeah, as soon as they spot that one out. There's a shot again, another miss here from Surf. Got the operator in his hands. Got to expect that he's going to be able to find some value, but okay. XERXIA claim the first kill as Kesnet falls. Goes across away onto the A side here, but still want to take these fights. You can see, still trying to ego this one. Cruz gets another with the wall. Drops off one of the angles, but a bit of run and gun by Mazzino. That's a follow-up. The spray down. 2 on the round for him. He's evened it up now, 3v3.
Fox looking for an opportunity to get out, caught by Nagzet with the operator. And that pushes things very much in favor of Crew. Their post plans have been good so far. Obviously, lost that one retake. But Cruz is down, the wall already invested in the round. Scary with a Viper's Pit. Could he get into a position where he wants to invest it?
It's incredibly risky. Oh my god, he's just...
Was that
there rip? Over the top there, onto the ropes. Skipping a hop, Mazzino.
But he's got a wall in
the
front of
three,
him.
yeah, the wall is such a problem. The snake bite into the corner, but he is being flanked. Every single position right now, even walking into his own snake bite, claims the one. Under 69 health, he's attacked the spike now, baits out of positioning. He knows where Nagset is, but at the end of the day, just too much damage was already done.
The crew looking good for another post plant there, even drawing the Viper's Pit out from Scary. I gotta say though, Cruz has been a monster this tournament. He's one of the players that normally doesn't turn up that much for XERXIA. They rely on Serve, Scary instead. But in their opening game, Cruz was pounding, and those 2 kills made the round winnable. Unfortunately, Mazzino just there again, the pillar, the backbone that Crew relies on to get them through those sticky situations.
Yeah, really phenomenal stuff. And this angle, again, the drone to supplement it, a shot fired off. They know the opera's there, they try and triple face it. But Nagset's so confident, goes for the second.
What a good shot.
And why not? What's that full investment into this round by XERXIA? He's ripping them apart.
Everything that happens early in the round, Crew are responding to perfectly. Any aggression on one side of the map, they go and take a different part. Or in this situation, Nags destroys them.
They're just holding. Holding for now. The players are down. There is a res online for Cruz if you wanted to wall off one particular area, but does still need to be watched.
The wall doesn't
Wall
look
and the res?
good here. There are angles where
Yes.
potentially Nags could have found the kill again.
Going to be respected though, and I think that presence does imply that the A site is pretty free, so you can see they've already taken the space up. We're aware of this one. Spike also going to start to get planted.
Only one segment of the wall broken here, and in fact,
Okay.
Crew break their own, which is going to help XERXIA a little bit. The wall that they've put down stops a late lurk coming through mid as well, so XERXIA have a good idea. This is just going to be a straight up 4v5 retake. No funny business.
It's really good. Post-plant setups though, and the protocol's there. Can Surf try and at least offset with his raw mechanical skill? Making his way into the site. The spam just goes wide there, and Klaus still claims a kill, one after the other. From the high ground position, Scary. Oh, he's got a tremendous task ahead of him, and it's not quite enough.
Crew continuing their dominance, getting into these sites far too easily, Brent.
And I'm really impressed, I think, at Cruz, I don't know, diligence here as well. You see the dart comes through, there's no chaos in a situation where nobody forgets to break it. Everything's purposeful with their setups in these post plants.
But also they have so much time to set up into the post plants, and I think that's the biggest problem here. Crew are being allowed into the sites in, a lot of the time, advantage situations, 5v4s, where they can get into the best positions possible and all get ready to break utility for each other and set up for the XERXIA retakes. And this, to me, seems such a weird way of playing IceBox defense when you have nanoswarms everywhere.
Yep.
You have the snake bites and the shock darts. This composition that XERXIA is playing has so much good utility to deny the plants coming through in the first place, and they're playing retakes almost every time. They're going to take a timeout here and try to address the game plan, see if they can fix what's gone wrong. This is a rough beginning to the half.
An individual who's not having the best of times is Surf as well. I mean, he's had an operator in his hand a lot of the time so far in this half, but he's 1-6.
He's been forced to retake in the vast majority of the rounds, though.
Sure.
I'm not sure how much of that is really on Surf. They seem to be finding out where he's playing with the op and immediately pivoting away from it. The player that really struggled in XERXIA's previous game was Sushi Boys as well. He got dominated. Under 100 ADR, gave up. He was -4 in first kill to first death. I mean, Sushi Boys has had some great performances at these lands before, but he's going to be asked to do a lot more right here.
Looking like a fast setup play though, over towards B with a slow over the top. That's going to be dropping in front of yellow, so if there is anybody holding close into B main on the defense side, they can't quite leave the area as easily, but it's free. Of course we know that. The wall is unconventional. This one's going to be blocking off that one side, but it is the half fight. You can see this deep push, 3 of the players on the side of XERXIA looking to try and take and claim some space. They were spotted though by Nagset, so.
Including Surf, who's the only player that can really be dangerous right now with the Blade Storm online. But he was playing extremely passively.
Spike
I'll drop over the
planted.
top. Deeper wall. really laboured in terms of just removing chunks of this one, especially when you don't have the weaponry. That knife catches onto Surf. No Blade Storm coming into this one. Mazino playing again close to the wall. The setup is there, and he's just spamming away with the Phantom in play.
One enemy remaining.
Surf was going to be their hope there with a Blade Storm, but it's a prime game in Flawless, just clinical gameplay from top to bottom.
Even the investment of the pit in a 5v5 with a massive economy advantage. I mean, KRU are giving respect to XERXIA, but they're also utterly making these rounds unwinnable. But the game plan here, I think, again, is off from XERXIA. Surf has Blade Storm, he's the only player that can win the round, and he took one fight, which was that one.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to be at the front of the pack of the people flanking. He was trying to force fights and play rotates and look for fights, look for picks. And he's got the operator again on the defense. I fear he's just going to end up being too static. And immediately they've identified where he is. Does it prompt the same response from KRU? Are they going to immediately pivot B?
They can see the money. They know that there's a possibility of him having an operator, and yeah, they're moving. Opposite side of the map. That recon's good though.
And this
might give some second thought, I think, to this push by KRU.
possibly. But this seems a bit like a lesson in how to neutralize a star player. There is a possibility that Sushi Boys will just instantly use his lockdown to stop this hit coming through. But there's still a minute on the clock. That won't delay forever.
The drone's going to get hurt. They do have that set up. A lot of the Killjoy utility. The Nanoswarm to really deny that plan as well.
And this is going to be a fake back to A. So Klaus going to use his utility here, a recon dart, to make it seem like they're going back towards A right now. This should be timed with the B players going forwards. Surf, in fact, even getting tagged by the recon. And look at the B players moving forwards at this time.
Yeah.
Does Sushi Boys use the lockdown?
Has to be using it now, though. Nanoswarm's popped off. That is a kill.
Down B.
Bit of prior
30
damage
seconds
being
left.
done. I think that's
Vulnerable.
the orb. Yeah, the orb coming up, I think, on top of it to apply the decay damage.
But they get the plant off for free.
He's just not denied, even with the player advantage.
I mean, I say for free. Mazino did die, of course, but giving up one player for the plant, getting post-plant positions, that might be good enough. Here comes the lockdown. Immediately, Klaus going to answer.
Hunter's Fury, though, on either side, I believe. Going to be utilized. Rips it across over the side there. Just on the side of Klaus, actually. Still this angle not being pushed off. Maxa just holding on the left side of yellow. Moving forwards once more. It's up to Cruz. Can he do anything else? The answer doesn't look likely. No one Kesnet is on the battlefield, and one after another taking names.
And that's another destructive post-plan for KRU. Nags, Mazino, Kesnet, the three heavy hitters of this team, looking unstoppable.
Great flick.
When Nags is hitting shots like this, KRU are dangerous, man. They're dangerous. Because Kesnet is always going to be there, always good. Out of all of the top players we have in the tournament, he's in the upper half for the top carry players.
I imagine they walked away from the match against FPX. So a lot to learn. A lot of big learning moments for them.
And I think their game plan initially here is just great.
Yeah, clearly
Healing.
putting a lot into practice here. There was an early skirmish that was taking place there, just on A, an exchange of damage. No one actually went down, but if you look at the money, again on the side of XERXIA, just been losing round after round.
Yeah, they're in the bin right now.
It is pretty horrific.
And from the XERXIA players' POV, they'll be thinking, why can't Kesnet whiff like that when we've got rifles?
Like this re-clear a space there by XERXIA. They have been spotted though. So, just trying to narrowly avoid any sort of damage by looking down. A swing close, but it is being covered once more. It's just far too clean. The KRU players always covering for each other.
These fundamentals are excellent. Absolutely excellent. And that's something they couldn't get together against FPX. They still played well against FPX, but they had some of the worst trading I've ever seen. In this game, though,
Enemy remaining.
the game plan is perfect.
Spike
KRU players
planted.
all supporting each other, and XERXIA just can't find a gap anywhere.
It's just pure domination. Scary's left with just that stinger. And probably no opportunity to even die to the spike. As much as he might want to try and hug the wall here and see if he can stand within the explosion. There are so many players waiting for him on the other side if you look at that mini-map. And Josh, is it too late at this point?
It does bear mentioning, Brennan. You know, you're bringing up the idea, is it too late for XERXIA? Crew were up 9-3 against FPX and lost the map.
That is true. Yeah, definitely a definitive struggle, I think, for Crew to close out that map on IceBox.
But there is a bit of a difference between FPX and XERXIA. You know, one
Oh no.
arguably the
No.
best. Oh no, Scary can't even get to it. He's just praying for the sweet release of death, and it won't be given to him.
He has to. Oh, he doesn't
now
get any money from
He's
it.
got light armor Guardian heading into round 11.
That is tragic.
Oh, it's just brutal.
Oh, show it again. Oh, I can feel it, man. I mean, there were 3 players watching at that point. I mean,
Yeah.
Keep those heels
It's just, I mean, most people are not going to be disappointed to watch the darkness retreat.
sure, yeah. But if you're trying to save the Stinger into the next, I mean, that's just not ideal. Crew slowed this round down again. I mean, this has been par for the course, I think, so far.
And once more, there's
Well,
a
their
piece
attack
of
side
aggression from
default.
XERXIA.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's been... Ooh, not quite red again. Surf finding a first kill. Haven't said that very often.
No. It's a big opening. I'm curious, there is a Resurrect online for Mazzino. Do they want to try and reclaim that space and get the res? It looks like he is working his way back over to that area, and the space hasn't been held. There is a player of Boiler. I'm curious, do they have an angle from there? Not quite.
Not quite.
No, it's too far deep.
And XERXIA look like they're trying to make another play happen, but are undecided on where they should be going and what they should be doing.
Yeah.
There's nobody holding aggressively on the A site. As the null command comes through, this is going to have to be Fox standing tall.
Tags onto Sushi Boys, who was in mid as well, so all this Killjoy utility is useless. Quick break on the wall, though. It's necessary, and Fox is covering it. This time, it's looking slightly better. They're fighting before they get a chance to get in. Delzik, an absolute menace. Quick whip around with the rifle, and somehow he walks away with 2 in a round before eventually going down. Bit of a pre-fire there. Sushi Boys has got to come up with something more.
And this is so difficult. Crew have tons of post-plant utility still. Kesnick with the fragment grenade, Klaus with 2 shocks.
It's the order utility coming through now with the Guardian.
Well, there go the shocks.
Okay. Tip tap, there's going to be the Viper's pit drop down. Spray transfer not quite connecting, but down to that 1v1 and across the ropes. Pure silence. Jumps straight into the pit, and Scary manages to win it.
Huge clutch for Scary. He's so good for them in those situations. And what a turnaround that was, even with the Guardian, Bren.
Yeah, the weaker buy after that mistake.
After the mistake in the prior round, not dying, he has to take light armor Guardian into the round. And with the Guardian, takes down both players with the post-plant utility and wins the 1v1. Great play from Scary.
He knew where Kesnick was coming from as well. Must have been a sound cue that was made. He's pre-firing the top of the rope. Now we're looking, see if XERXIA can claim this final round, maybe get that 3rd on the board. At the half, and again that clash over towards B-main. We've been seeing this from time and time again, and the kills flooded one after the other. But it is just a cacophony of bullets one way and the other, down to that 2v3 now. Crew, that player disadvantage, not a situation they've been in many times so far in this half.
Now the trading has always favored Crew. This is the first round where it has not. Can Nags bring them back? Or are we going to see another 9-3 half and the potential for a curse?
Instantly, Delzik is taking risks. Just contacting, using his own Viper wall. Waiting for Nags to get in position, but it is being watched for.
Is it winnable with pit?
Jewel though, yeah, he's got the pit online.
Hunter's
That's a
Fury.
spike, he's baited out the Hunter's Fury. He's
It's
played
too
this
late.
pretty well. 45 seconds in a round with his plant. Looks like there's nothing to try and offset it. Have to prevent it. And now with the spike down in the pit, this is more than winnable in a 1v2. Delzik doesn't have the best weaponry for it. The Vandal's going to be revealing his position with the Tracers, but look at that! The intelligence plays outside the pit. A singular angle, and he's working his magic, weaving in and out. The pit will fall, drops it intentionally, a tap at a spike, and Fox is left wondering, where is this guy at? Where is the positioning being played? And now they're aware of each other. All dropped up, 52 health on the name of Delzik. What does Fox choose to do? Sticking it, sticking it, sticking it, sticking it, all the way! And it's ice cold to get the 3rd round in the half.
What a sick clutch! Back to back from the XERXIA players. Scary, then Fox. When they played last, They were not doing well at the beginning of rounds, but they still had 27% clutch. It looks like that's going to be the same story again today. XERXIA, ice cold.
But the question is it enough? 9-3 at the half. And listen, the curse has been rearing its head. Trust me, the bit's been ran a couple of times on the desk. The curse has been rearing its head, but I'm not sure if it's good enough. Desk, tell us, is it enough? Do you have another bit for us?
I mean, I'm going to keep it real. I always have another bit.
No, we don't do humor here. Serious analysis,
no humor.
please.
Just only hard-hitting analysis. All right, let's actually break this down, though, because, Seth, you know, we were very excited to see XERXIA go back to a composition we're familiar with, that they have had success with, and we were happy to see Sushi Boys on the Killjoy, but the Killjoy has kind of been neutralized a fair amount.
I hate to be mean, but like right now, I do not want to eat outrageous amounts of raw fish tonight. I just want to eat something that is just burnt to a crisp, isolated in my room by myself.
Good, well
not
done
surrounded by
steaks.
anybody. He has not been performing right now. He's not been really given an opportunity to play this game. He's just been picked off. Oftentimes, first player to go down on XERXIA. He is just dying, and he's finding very little impact.
Yeah, 5 rounds where he's taking the first kill, and in the large part of that being punished. When you play Killjoy on this map, the Killjoy needs to live, to play that anti-play, to shut down Crew. But Crew is punishing him anytime he even slightly overpeaked, so that Killjoy was out of the picture so often. And the big man doing that punishment was Nags. He was looking absolutely absurd, picking up this attacking-sided operator. And I mean, on top of Crew just having amazing executes, this guy was on point. And now we head into a second half where I think he will only get better with this op, because if you look at the comp for XERXIA, no flashes, only that Sova. And when you're playing the Sova to clear out the ops, you have to be perfect, on point, on following up the utility. And XERXIA hasn't been showing me that thus far.
No, they haven't. And honestly, like, while we know that Nags is an incredible player, he can put up these performances against very strong teams, but right now, I feel like XERXIA is making this even easier for him. They're taking so many disadvantaged swings. They're just going out, triple peeking the operator, 2 people die. It's like, well, what did you expect?
Yeah, I mean, XERXIA, they go back to their tried and true comp, and, well, the truth is that it's the same thing it has been before. The same mistakes are showing. They need a miracle to come back.
Yeah, and I don't know if that 9-3 miracle is necessarily going to happen, but never say never. Let's send it back over to Brennan Sideshow, who are looking for some more bits.
Not bits. Golden boy Lira. You owe me Lira. Okay? Listen. 9-3 at the half.
It's not looking good.
Yeah. It's not looking good so far, but we've seen many attempts of comebacks. Has to start on the pistol round, but for Crew, they're going to have a fresh memory of their recent loss on this map against FPX.
The positive side here is that Surf, on the attack, is going to be much more difficult to avoid. You can't just keep giving him all the sights and running away. He's here and he's forcing fights.
A lot of damage being done to Mazzino, but he heals himself back up, and Kesnet was covering that one angle on Belt. Surf is removed so early on, your star player just being shut down over and over and over again, and as you try and gain any sort of ground, guess what? Mazzino's there once more. The rest of the squad just taking positioning and taking the round. A prime gaming flawless on the pistol.
And an absolute outclassing that we're witnessing right now. Crew look warmed up and hot, ready to go.
Yeah.
I said Surf is going to be much more difficult to avoid, but Kesnet just finding the weirdest of angles and picking him off immediately as he tries to force a fight on Belt.
Is that a right click?
No, surely not.
It looked like it, kind of. I don't know, it's disgusting if it was.
Surf has to be the carry player for this team. He normally gets 39% of their first kills.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like a top 3 first round carry. The first kills are normally flooding in from this guy, and if he doesn't deliver them, other people don't. And he's just getting picked off first constantly, every round.
Time and time again. Make no mistake as well, it's been difficult for Surf to find any sort of value. Every time he was spotted out, Crew were avoiding him. Complete opposite side of the map that was being played on the other side of the half.
And even if they do take the fight, there's multiple people he's fighting against.
Yeah.
The Crew teamwork and support for each other is looking excellent.
It's just been so good from top to bottom.
This is a classic Foxy play.
Yeah.
How many times did we see Fox behind somebody, trigger discipline
How
against
the bloody
XZ?
hell
He's
has
done it
Mortis playing
again.
Here. 1-2, shots rattled, but the quick whip around. That's Delzik.
I've seen that before too.
and he wants to take the fight anyway.
Spike down B.
Right into them. The right click not quite doing the job. In fact, it is cleaned up, but down to 30 health. That recon dart, that was a bit of a spanner into the works, doesn't it? In terms of them wanting to get that plan down.
Last player standing.
Oh, the spam through the smoke. Kesner mops it up, and it's 11-3 in the lead.
Yeah, this is a fundamental outplay, I think, top to bottom. The teamwork of KRU is just so good. They have layers in terms of what they want to do as well. In the prior rounds, when we've seen them working around the ultimates, I think they've been ready for almost everything, it seems, in this map.
Absolutely. KRU are not coming into this with a particularly dangerous bonus by this time around. Remember, they converted the bonus in the first half and got out to an astounding lead. But this one would be much more of a challenge. KRU going for a bit of aggression over here.
Up close and personal, just trying to take the fight. Kesnis was so unaware.
I think he whiffed his flash. He got panicked and threw his flash into his own face there.
Yet still the trade comes through.
How on earth do they get that?
I mean, they're working with ghosts.
But the trades are just so well set up by KRU.
And every single player that XERXIA lose is looking more and more dire for them. They've invested with the weapon. Already angles being watched for KRU's. Slight whiff of a shot there. Tag with the drone. Naxed is in trouble. He's being swarmed from multiple different angles. How is he getting away with it? And he's still here. He will not be removed from the yellow box, man. This guy finally going to be evacuating there with a rendezvous. Going to be respecting him a little bit more, but not before he's just made it so much more expensive.
So much utility. 2 players. And Nags holds his ground and gets one. He has made this bonus round extremely winnable here for KRU. And it's again Fox trying to get himself into a ratty spot.
Over the top. Fox is lucky not to get traded there. The position wasn't quite there for any sort of swing.
30 seconds
With the
left.
one, but it is a little bit all over the place right now from XERXIA. It feels almost just uncertain of the way they want to approach this round.
They're worried about being swarmed.
There's 20 seconds left.
The spike is not down.
No. But they're baiting and forcing out the fight anyway. Will allow them to get that spike down. Fox has to find the right angle, but he's just not got the right crosshair placement. Weaponry now in the hands of the opposition. KRU, this is a 2v2. Entirely winnable for them right now with Klaus and Mazzino on the battlefield. And look at Mazzino. This is planted in a very deep side angle. The Nanoswarm will push them off, but he's already got half on the defuse and still. Kill goes down onto Klaus. One shot being found, but it's a doubled up position. Just crouch to the side. Scary returns the fire.
And that is a round for XERXIA, but way too close. The plan wasn't in a good spot. Comes down to, I guess technically, a 1v1 towards the end as Scary doubles up. That was a very low buy from KRU on the bonus. And they've just crippled the XERXIA economy.
Yeah, I mean, they killed 4 of them. 4 rifles removed. Now you're going to have to be going into that half armor. Digging deep.
A lot of half armor out there. A fast take of B as Surf looks to try and fight this one. Recon dart broken early as well, so they're not aware that Nags is hidden in this corner.
There's no good information here. In fact, with the drone.
Delzik breaks the drone as well. Delzik is just breaking every piece of utility so
where's
that Nags
the
can
punish?
fight.
You can feel the pressure. The players, Fox's shock dart just goes right up into his face, and the recon dart is a swing into it. KRU's teamwork is just impeccable.
Look at the difference in how they're using and breaking
No
their
one's covering
opponent's
yellow, by the way.
utility.
No one's covering yellow.
It's all falling to pieces for the Thai team.
It's just scrambling for an answer in all of these rounds. Zeno with the jiggle peek, knows that the positioning is there, knows that they could be pushed up, but actually, crosshair placement. No way! How are you getting away with this? You should not be getting away with 2 kills there. Ever, ever.
What a brilliant outplay, though.
I have the spike.
Mazzino's movement and spray control with the Phantom is otherworldly at times. I swear he always turns up on IceBox too. His IceBox Sage is
30 seconds
next
left.
level.
What a
And this-
difference maker he's been.
Poison's
This map is over. Scary is not going to
it's
pull out
done,
a
man.
1v5.
It's done.
That's a prime gaming flawless on round 16. Breaking XERXIA's economy
Match
again.
point.
And KRU waltzing away with this one.
Yeah.
I thought map 1 might be close. Obviously, I would say it's favored towards KRU. It was their pick. They've looked good on it in the past. They've beaten Loud in Copenhagen, all of these things. KRU are definitely favored here. But for XERXIA, they used to be really good on this map. They've had international wins here before. And I thought at least we'd see something competitive. This has not been. If the story of these two teams has been somewhat similar throughout 2022, both desperately reaching for that former glory, it is certainly KRU that are doing the better job of it here today. But that first death on Mazzino is going to neutralize one of the best candidates. 0 Point finding all 5 players, though.
5 players. I mean, how often do you see this? And it has just devolved into chaos. Pandemonium onto the site, but it's eventually going to get given up. So XERXIA will have control of the site. The spike starting to go down. No commando. It's going to be ripping through waves.
And the flank as well.
And his flank is everything. Exit. Trying to find a line-of-sight angle onto one of these players. Fox is in a lot of trouble, but they are just timing in each other. But he misses it to spray down, eventually claiming that kill.
And the noose is tightening around XERXIA here.
Yeah, the players have got to start to feel the pressure.
Last player standing.
Surf eventually will fall, not before he gets the one, and the spray just can't find itself. That is going to be the round there for KRU with the retake. It's just too clean. The layers upon layers of their game plan. They came to IceBox more than ready, and Josh will be mentioning it.